Good morning. Welcome back to the Giant Papist. This will be the gospel reading for the first week of Lent, the Saturday of that first week. We are once again returning to Matthew's account of the Sermon on the Mount, this time chapter 5, verses 43 through 48, concerning the love for one's enemies. You know what Jesus officially is recorded as saying on that. All right, so without further ado, let us get to the gospel lesson for today. At that time, Jesus taught his disciples, "You have heard that it was said, 'You shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy.' But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust. For if you love those who love you, what reward have you? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you salute only your brethren, what more are you doing than others? Do not even the Gentiles do the same? You therefore must be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect." Thus endeth the lesson. All right. Right, so checking the handy dandy notes. First thing, the note is from the book of Leviticus. So this is back at the Pentateuch, chapter 19. Chapter 19, verse 18. All right, so verse 18. Ah, all right, so this is technically verses 17 through 18, right? This is God speaking through Moses. "You shall not hate your brother in your heart, but you shall reason with your neighbor, lest you bear sin because of him. You shall not take vengeance or bear any grudge against the sons of your own people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord." Right, and then the other one was 19, verse 2. "And the Lord said to Moses, Say to all the congregation, to the sons of Israel, You shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy." All right, so, in other words, for those curious, Jesus did not get the "be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect" out of nowhere. He's quoting the third book of the Torah, or paraphrasing the third book of the Torah. But more importantly, the love of enemies, right? And the book of Proverbs, which, as you no doubt know, in a 2-hour video, I read the entire thing. Let us see. This is chapter 25, 21 through 22. Ah, yes. Yes, these is part of the wise sayings of Solomon, which King Hezekiah of Judah had copied. Quote, "If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he is thirsty, give him water to drink, for you will heap coals of fire on his head, and the Lord will reward you." Right. So, in other words, the from a human perspective, the controversial idea of showing love to those we don't like isn't completely alien to the Old Testament. It is there. Jesus's listeners might not like it, but this is not new teaching he has given to us. Yes, that Christian ideal we try so hard to follow. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that we might better fulfill our spiritual adoption as the children of God. For God takes care of both the good and the bad here on earth. And he even gives comparisons lest we think we don't have to follow this commandment. You know, what's special about only showing love to those who love us? Not even the tax collectors do the same? In other words, do not even those who, in first century Jewish society, we viewed as sellouts to the occupiers, are you claiming to be better than them? Jesus says, and yet you can't love more than they do? And if we only show love to our countrymen or family, but nobody else, how's that different from anybody else? Not even the Gentiles, the non Jews, the pagans that you claim to be better than. Are you saying you can't love better than they do? And Jesus hits this home. You know, by the grace of God, we therefore must be perfect as God the Father is perfect. Yeah. It has been observed by the English writer G.K. Chesterton that, and I'm going to be paraphrasing, the Christian ideal has not been found. Yeah, I don't quite remember what he said, but the gist of it is that the moral law of Christianity has not been found lacking in its efficacy, but because it's difficult, men have left it untried. We don't, most people don't attempt, even Christians, attempt to live out the Christian life as they should because it's hard. You know, what do you mean I have to love the person who would rather see me dead? You know, pray for those who persecute you, as I covered in the my reflection for the Ash Wednesday reading. For those who want to know my further thoughts on that, go check out that video. So, with that, that has been the end of today's reflection. As always, like, comment, and subscribe so I can grow out my tiny YouTube channel. And I'll see you next time.